D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to This Week in Review, where I try to break down 3 TV shows, 3 news stories, and I tell you about the movies that are coming out this week. And I try to do all that in under 12 minutes, and I bring that to you every Sunday. And so why don't we just go ahead and dive right in? So we're going to get into TV shows, and the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is The Flash. Now, we got episode 22 of The Flash and this week, and the first thing, it's basically Cisco and Caitlin enter Flash time, where they are just going to try to help defeat DeVoe before he launches his satellites into space to start the Enlightenment. But one fun thing that we did see was we saw Diggo come from the Arrowverse over to the Flash. So he came to the Flash where he vomited, like normal. Of course he would, because he does every time that he gets sped through, the Flash's little Speed Force thing. Another positive about this episode is that hallway fight. That was really good. I did enjoy that. I think that the Arrowverse, maybe they just have a thing about where their hallway fights are really good. Of course, Arrow's fight scenes are pretty good and everything. Another thing that we saw on there was we did get to finally see the launching of the satellites for the Enlightenment and that whole process begin with that. One thing that was what I thought was the biggest revelation in the episode, and I don't know if they'll have time to visit it this season because we only have one episode left. I know. That is that Caitlin was Killer Frost as a child. Cisco vibed her back to when she was younger, and we saw that she was Killer Frost and had her powers when she was younger, and it had nothing to do with the particle accelerator exploding, giving her those powers. All right, so moving on to our next TV show we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the season finale of Arrow and some notable things to mark in this one. It was an okay season finale. I'm not really huge on this season, but one thing that they did mention that I'm really interested is in the Longbow Hunters. I think that that's an interesting thing to bring up. They didn't show them, but they did mention it, and I'm excited to see that. We also saw that first assault on Diaz where they go in and it's just all those bombs or whatever, and then Renee calls Zoe, his daughter. I thought they were going to kill Renee, and I was really hoping for it. I personally do not like this character. I don't like him on the show. The actor, I like the actor that plays him. I don't know his name off the top of my head. But I don't like the character. I think he's stupid, and I wish he wasn't on the show. As far as the Diaz Arrow fight on that rooftop, it was really good. You could tell it wasn't the actor that plays Diaz. It was his stunt double, especially when they did the wide shots and everything, that you could tell that it wasn't him and everything. A sad note was that Quentin Lance died. He did it off screen, which I really didn't care for. I hate when they do off screen deaths because it's just like... I personally don't like it, but whatever. What do I know? But I was sad to see him go. I really haven't liked Quentin Lance since season 3. And so his death to me really wasn't like crazy. Like, I wasn't heartbroken, but at the same time I was a little sad. Like, it was kind of bittersweet. Like, I was happy to see him go, but at the same time I was sad to see him go. And then finally that last scene where we saw Oliver reveal himself as Green Arrow, and he is arrested and sent to prison. And I think that the next season will obviously be him either getting released or breaking out of prison. I think they should do it like they did, and I've seen this online, like they did Green Arrow Supermax, which was a movie that was going to be made years and years ago. But I think they should do that and do the whole thing where they'd show prisoners with metahuman prisoners and everything, because I think that would just be fantastic. And then the last show I want to talk about, of course, is Supergirl. And this one, I felt like this episode was not that great. I mean, some notable things that I liked about it was that they showed the Lex mansion. I thought that was cool. I liked that it was a invisible, like it was like a hologram kind of invisible thing. I really liked that. The fight with Rain at the mansion with everybody was okay. I don't like the capes thing where they like latch them onto her arms and stuff. I don't like that whole thing. It's like Supergirl's got an amazing array of powers. She doesn't need her cape, okay, to use as a power. Like, it's so stupid, and I hate that they introduced that. One thing that I do want to talk about is the actress that plays Ruby. I don't like this character, and I really hope that they kill her off along with Sam. I don't like Sam at all either. But the actress that plays Ruby, I think, is bad. She's not a good actress. I don't know who cast her, but they did a bad job. This is just awful casting. She's just a horrible actress in my opinion, and I don't like her. I don't like her at all, and I have no problem saying that. I mean, if you like her, by all means tell me why, because I can't find a redeeming quality in this girl. As far as movies that came out this week, really the only notable movie to talk about is Deadpool 2. It is blowing up. It's doing really well from the last time I checked the box office. You can't really, give a final thing until the weekend is over. Which I'm recording this video before Sunday, so but it's doing really well. I've seen it. It's really good. I liked it a lot. I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one, and there were some things that I didn't like. But I mean, it's a really good movie. It's funny and everything, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. So let's move on to the news. Right now, upfronts are going on in America as far as TV goes, and CW is having their upfronts, and they're talking about shows that are coming back. I would suggest going and checking that out as far as what schedules are going on, especially if you're into the CW shows. I suggest going and checking out what they're going to be playing this coming up fall. But the one thing they asked is the CW recent upfronts presentation where Arrow star Stephen Amell announced that Batwoman will be introduced into the upcoming Arrowverse crossover. So exciting! While it's unclear exactly how Batwoman will factor into the story, it was hinted that Gotham will make an appearance, finally introducing it into the Arrowverse. This is the first time ever that she will make a live-action appearance on any screen, explained the CW president Mark Pedowitz. I don't know how to say his last name. Don't quote me on that presentation. And this, oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm like ecstatic about this. So, if you know anything about Batwoman, she was first introduced into the pages of DC Comics back in 1956. And I'm just reading my notes. Before Kane took over the mantle in 2006, and that's the one that will be I believe, introduced. I think it's going to be Kane. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember them saying if it was going to be Kane or not. Since then, the character has developed into a pretty passionate fan following, particularly as DC's first openly lesbian superheroes. Over the past few years, fans have gotten to see multiple incarnations of Batwoman across DC Comics. Most recently, her own solo series, and as a leading member of Bombshells United. Now, I have to be honest with you, her solo comic book is completely unreadable. I mean, when it first started out, I can't remember the guy that first wrote it. He first started writing it, and I believe he wrote up to issue 16. I wish I had wrote down his name. But those are actually pretty good. Those are really, I actually like those. But the stuff now that's coming out for Batwoman, like I said, it's completely unreadable. I stopped reading it. It's no good, and I wouldn't pick it up unless something happened. I'm really interested in seeing this on Arrow. I don't know how this is gonna play into Batman as far as it goes, because Batman was the inspiration for the Bat family, aka Batwoman. So I don't know how that's going to factor into this coming up. And I'm for it 100%, and I really wish they could do Batman, but I don't know how they're going to explain Batman now. I hope they do explain it, and I hope Batman isn't not in the Arrowverse. You tell me what you think. I think that adding Batwoman is completely fantastic. I'm really curious as to see who they get to cast her, and I'll have to talk about that in some other kind of video if I have time. My second story I want to talk about is TMZ has gotten a hold of a production sheet for an Obi-Wan solo film. It's going to be called Obi-Wan, a Star Wars story. And I think that these are fantastic, like, telling stories. This one, from what I understand, it's going to be taking place on Tatooine, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm tired of seeing the desert planets and everything. One thing that I liked about Rogue One was that jungle planet that it took place on. It was just fantastic. But, it's going, from what I understand, it's going to be farmers and sand people versus each other, and because baby Luke is in danger, Obi-Wan Kenobi has to step in and go full Jedi on the sand people, and then that's one of the things of why they're scared of him in A New Hope, when he comes and he's just flailing his arms like, and he's making that weird noise, which he's never made before, ever, since, or past. But that's why they're scared of him in A New Hope, because he showed him the business and everything. I have to say, though, as far as that goes, I'm 100% for a solo Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. I can't wait. I think Ewan McGregor did a really great job, and I think that this movie, I'm more interested in this movie than I am in the Solo movie. But I do, I am excited for it. Tell me what you think about it. I think, like I said, I think it'll be really good. So for my last story, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard, but It Chapter 2 has cast Eddie and Stanley, their adult versions, and for Eddie, they've cast James Ransone, and he's not, like, hugely known. I would say his best known performance would be in the movie, or that most people would know him from, I would guess, would be that he was in he was in the movie Sinister and Sinister 2. And I mean, I didn't know that I had to go and look at his IMDb to find out what movies he was in and shows and stuff. But as soon as I saw that he was in those movies, I was like, oh, he played the cop and everything. But I think this is okay, you know, because they've got a lot of kind of big names. Well, Jessica Chastain, I would say, is kind of the biggest name. But anyways, but they cast him. Stanley, they cast an actor named Andy Bean. Not the son of Sean Bean. He's not related at all. But he's a relatively unknown actor. He was a lawyer in a Transformers movie. He didn't even it wasn't even a memorable role to get a name on it. But and I thought I saw something about him being in the show Power. I'm not 100% sure, and I forgot to write that down in my notes. But it's you know, I'm fine with these. Stanley, the Andy Bean guy, I'm not really, like, I'm assuming he's a friend of Andy Muschietti, the director, or maybe Jessica Chastain. But I don't think that Stanley, if you've ever read the book, spoiler right now, Stanley kills himself pretty much right away, because he doesn't want to go back. And if you've seen the 90s film, he does kill himself. Sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties with this whole thing. So tell me what you think about the It casting with James Ransone and Andy Bean. And yeah, just leave that down below. So what's coming up next? As far as TV shows go, we'll get the season finale of The Flash, and I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see where it goes and what they'll do. Supergirl will, of course, continue with its season until its finale, and I hope that if you're watching, you'll fill in what you're going to say. I suggested a show last week called Killing Eve, and I'm telling you right now, if you're not watching this show, I would suggest picking it up. It's only 6 episodes in now. It's completely, I love it. It's my favorite show right now that's on TV right now. It's compelling, it's good, the acting is good, the writing is good, it's really, really good. It's on BBC America, and it's got Sandra Oh, and it's just so great. It's a really good show, and I would suggest to anybody to watch it. One other show that I want to suggest, which I just started watching, it's on Netflix. It's a German show called Dark. It's really, I love it. So I'm only a couple episodes in, but so far it's really good. If you don't like subtitles, then don't watch this show. I know a lot of people are very much like, I don't want to read while I'm watching my movies or my TV shows. I want to just watch them. But still, it's compelling. It's good. If you like Stranger Things, you'll like this show, or at least I compared it to. And everything. And last thing I want to mention is, as far as movies go, next week Solo is going to hit theaters. And I don't know if you're excited about this. I'm kind of excited about it since I've seen the trailers. I'll probably see it because it's a Star Wars movie and I can't help myself. But I would say it's gonna beat Deadpool 2. If it doesn't, that'll be sad. But it might not do. Yeah, it might not do as well because of everybody's really mad at Kathleen Kennedy over Last Jedi, and I think that if this movie doesn't do good, I think it's to basically throw it in her face. And say, listen to us fans. We know what we want and we know what we don't want, and what you're giving us is not what we want. Even though I personally liked Last Jedi. All right, so tell me what you guys think about this video. Tell me what you think about the 3 stories that I shared and the TV shows and everything. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, if you could please tell me why you don't like this video, what I can do to improve the kind of stuff you want to talk about and everything. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not, and I will check you guys later. Bye.